Good afternoon, everyone. Tanya here, Talk with Tanya, every Friday, 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, right here on my Body Business KW Facebook page. So as promised, I mentioned to you that I would talk about intermittent fasting today. One thing I want to mention, if you have any medical issues where you need to eat so many hours between each meals, or you're diabetic, then I would not follow this unless you have your doctor's permission. But if you have no medical issues whatsoever, or there's no medication that you need to take, spread out certain hours with food, then this is for you. And, it's everywhere you look right now, they're talking about intermittent fasting. I've been doing this myself now for about 2.5 months. And I've noticed since I've started intermittent fasting, I'm feeling a lot better. I'm not getting bloated overall. I'm not waking up in the morning kind of really feeling tired. And it's just, I'm waking up and feeling better and not craving for certain foods, I'll say. So what is intermittent fasting? What it means is there's a 10 to 12 hour window where you do not consume any kind of food. You're fine to consume water, herbal teas. I'm not going to say coffee because a lot of people add milk and sugars to coffee. So again, during the intermittent fasting time, you are fine to have, lots of water, lots of herbal teas. And I recommend you do your intermittent fasting in the evening overnight. So that is what I do. So I wrote down a sheet here with times on it, and I'll show you more about that later. So why do I recommend it you do it at night? As I mentioned, you're not going to be eating between 10 to 12 hours. So if your bedtime, if you can see here, if you went to bed at 6 o'clock, and I have on the one side, you can see 6, 7, 8, 9. So if you went to bed at 6 o'clock, if you ate at 6 o'clock, so that was your supper, and we're not looking at snacks or anything. I'll get into that after this. But again, if you had your supper at 6 o'clock, for example, then you would not eat breakfast until 4 or 6 a.m. again. Same here. If you ate your dinner at 7 p.m., you would not eat your breakfast or anything else until 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. and so forth. There's 8 or 9 p.m. And again, these are the times you would not eat breakfast until. Now, as it gets later in the day, later into the evening, 8, 9, and 10, and you're going to, 8, 9, 10, and you're going to go to bed like within 1 to 2 hours eating, then I highly recommend you eat your dinner sooner than that, because you're going to have a really restless sleep, and this intermittent fasting is not going to, it's not going to stick with you, because, you're going to find, I'm not sleeping, I can't do this, and all this other stuff. I can give you details one-on-one through personal talk if you want to know more about that. But I'm here to talk about intermittent fasting today. Let's say you ate at 5:30, okay? And, 2 hours later, you're really, really hungry because you didn't have the greatest supper, and you end up having a snack 2 hours later at 7:30. So now you need to count 7:30 as the last time you ate something, your last meal, your last snack. So if you, again, ate at 5:30 your supper, but then you had a snack at 7:30, 7:30 is now where you need to count that 10 to 12 hours fasting of interval fasting. So you would not eat until 5:30 or 7:30 your breakfast. So I hope that makes sense. And when a lot of times when your body, you think it's signaling to you that it's hungry, really it's just thirsty. So most of the times we eat supper, between 4:30 and 6, depending what activities are happening in the evening. And even with my fitness classes, when I teach them, if you partake in any kind of fitness in the evening, then, make a light meal, or when you have your supper, wait an hour and a half or 2 hours before you have supper. So if I'm going to eat supper at 5 p.m., I'm not going to actually have my breakfast. I go more of a 12 to 14 hour time span, but that's just me. That's how personally feels better for my body. So if I eat supper at 5 p.m., I will not have breakfast until between, usually at 6 a.m. So I'm actually going 13 hours. But again, as soon as, remember when I talked about you can have your teas, your herbal teas, you can have water. Yes, I had supper at 5 p.m., but I'm still in the evening having teas, having water. And maybe my body might signal like, you're hungry, but I'm not, right? What I'll do is, again, have water, tea, and then I'm completely satisfied. When I wake up when I get up before 5, I don't eat breakfast till 7. So what do I do between 5 to 6 a.m.? is I will wake up and have my lemon water. And I've talked about this, the importance of lemon water first thing when you wake up. If you missed that, you can go to my YouTube channel, Tanya Otterstein-Liehs, and watch that. Or, of course, you can contact me, and I will be happy to share the information with you. So when I wake up, I have my lemon water, followed by 1 or 2 mugs green tea. And then, again, I'll have that breakfast. So yesterday, I did end up having a snack at, it was like 8:30 at night. I had some yogurt with, and when I woke up this morning, even though I woke up, before 5, I did not eat my breakfast until 9 a.m., but I wasn't starving because I woke up and I still was having water and having tea. So try it. You got to stick with it. You can't try it, 1 or 2 days and say, oh, this didn't work. It didn't work. I know, I'll be honest, when I first, started it, I'll say it took me 4 to 7 days to get used to it because, I was into this routine. I'd wake up, have breakfast, of course, have lemon water, have tea, and have breakfast right away. But then I end up lengthening that stretch of when I had breakfast, and my body, again, it just feels better now. It's not even hungry when I wake up. So try it, give it a good week, 2 weeks, and I guarantee you will feel much better. When I mentioned when you eat so late before you go to bed, within that 1-2 hours before you go to bed, your body's working so hard to digest the food. It really can't just slow down and learn to relax, especially if you had a high carb meal. Then your body has to work out even harder to break down the high carb meal. So because your body's working so hard, again, doesn't have time to rest. So you're going to wake up feeling like you hit a truck. And it's like, oh my gosh, I feel worse now than when I went to bed, right? Has that ever happened to you? So I highly recommend you try this intermittent fasting. Some of the other things that I've noticed, if you have a goal for weight loss, that will also help because as I'm in premenopausal now, I've noticed my body's changing, hormones are changing. There was a little bit of weight gain happening in areas, even though I didn't do anything different as far as, I still exercise the same way. I still ate the same way. It's like, wow, what is happening to my body? Just because I felt bloated overall. So I got into the intermittent fasting and, where the weight was kind of settling, it's like gone now. And again, I'm waking up, feeling a lot better, not feeling bloated. And just, I'm I'm happy with the positive, I don't want to say effects, but the positive things that have happened to me. So again, looking at the sheet, so 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. If you ate, scroll over, you wait 10 to 12 hours before you have something to eat, your breakfast. And I don't want you skipping breakfast. Maybe you have to, maybe you ate really late and you have to get to work and you don't have time to, wait that long. Then make yourself, a smoothie with some fruit in it, with some veggie greens in it, and some water in there, and take that smoothie with you, so that you can get some food in you, because you need to have that to gain energy as well. And I know I asked you last week about, have you tried the lemon water? How's that working? I'd love to know. And also, the other question I asked was, are you staying hydrated? And always the first way to know that is not first thing in the morning, because you're dehydrated by the time you wake up, right? So I'll say if you get up at 6 a.m., let's say you go to the bathroom at 9 o'clock. You should have gone a lot more before that. What color is the toilet water after you went to the bathroom? Okay. The more clear and lighter it is, the hydrated you are. The darker it gets, the more dehydrated you are. Once you're thirsty, that is already a key sign of dehydration. Leg cramping is a sign of dehydration. Really being tired is a sign of dehydration. I know when I'm not drinking enough, the way my body signals is all of a sudden I just, boom, get really, really tired for no reason at all. And of course, thirsty. If your lips are dry, if your skin is dry, those are key signs of dehydration. A lot of people think, oh, it's the wind or the sun, or the cold winter that your lips are dehydrated, but it's not. It's a sign of dehydration. So yes, I'm putting in a few other tips in there other than the intermittent fasting, but I wanted to really drive home about that because it's out there a lot, and you possibly been reading about it. You've been hesitant on trying intermittent fasting. Again, I would love to, if you have some deep questions, you want to know more about it, and then I'd be happy to answer them during a one-on-one talk. And, it can be phone, it can be via Zoom. Zoom is like Skype or Google Hangout. It'd just be you and I chatting. And if there's any other questions you have related to health, wellness, fitness, please do not hesitate to get out of those fears, get out of those excuses that are stopping you from moving your head. You want to move ahead. You want to become unstuck, and I'd be happy to give you a tip to get you moving forward. What I'll do is just above this video, I will put the link. If you're watching this on Facebook, right above, I'll put the link as how you can book that free chat with me, where I'd love to get you a tip moving forward. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then down below will be my link to book a complimentary 20-minute chat with me to get you moving forward. If you liked anything I mentioned today, then down below, hit the like button. Share down below if you feel, and if there's someone in your network of friends that would find this really beneficial about intermittent fasting, this information, please hit share. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, then hit the subscribe button so you never miss a message. That is it. Tanya Otterstein-Liehs here, saying take care of yourself, face your fears, stop the excuses, move ahead. And I know I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but I have my doors open now for you to claim your spot with my fitness classes that will be beginning. And I'm offering ladies 2 weeks free preview, but I will put the link there into my Body Business Facebook page, information all about it. So claim your spot, because I only have 10 spots for the 2-week free classes. Other than that, we'll have I'm tongue-tied here, have a wonderful weekend. Remember, do something for yourself. Acknowledge that you're important. Acknowledge that you deserve this. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.